Welcome and thank you for joining me on the third episode of the Restored podcast. On the last episode, I shared on the types of domestic violence and abuse and signs of abuse, different ways domestic violence abusers treat and exercise power and control over their partners. On today's episode, I will be sharing warning signs you or someone you know might be in an abusive relationship. How victims of domestic abuse behave in abusive relationship. There are some obvious physical signs of abuse such as bruising or injuries or the covering up of injuries such as wearing a long sleeve top on a hot day, but others are subtle, manifesting in victims' behavior rather than in their physical appearance. It could be a change in their personality or attitude, constantly checking in with or desperate to please their partner, constant worrying about how their partner will react, or skipping work or social occasions, giving excuses why they can't attend. Many victims of domestic abuse don't recognize the behaviors they are exposed to as even abusive. They find it difficult to acknowledge or accept what is happening to them. They may try to cope with it, avoid it, understand it, or try to fix it. They may minimize what is happening and blame themselves. They are likely to feel ashamed, embarrassed, and alone. This is a normal response to abuse. I have some questions for you today. Are you happy in your relationship? Are you aware of the warning signs in an abusive relationship? Are you happy in your relationship? Is there anything you're feeling or in the way you behave that is telling you your relationship is not good for you? Do you sometimes feel scared of how your partner may behave? Constantly making excuses to other people for your partner's behavior? Do you feel you are responsible for their feelings and behavior? Do you try not to do anything that will cause conflict or make your partner angry, trying to avoid conversations that might lead to argument or set them up? You find it difficult to talk freely to your partner without screening or holding back on what to say. You are afraid to talk. You're afraid it might become upset or start an argument which might lead to further abuse. You find yourself apologizing even when you've done nothing wrong, feeling like you are always walking on eggshells. Are you constantly looking for signs they are about to get angry? Are you looking around the house to see if there might be anything out of place that could cause him to be angry or cause an argument? Probably you left something on the table and he walked in and he became angry. So you're trying to avoid anything that could make him angry. They see a cup on the table and they just blow up. So the victims now starts to check that everything is in place. Even things that are in place sometimes makes them angry. Are you trying your best to manage the world around you? Feeling like you can't do anything right? Feeling like you are worthless? Having palpitations when you know they would be home soon? I've experienced that before. The moment I know that it's almost time, that I start having palpitations. Or when you are on your way home from work, you start having palpitations because you don't know what you meet at home. You don't know what's going to happen next. Or you stop doing everything you love doing just to please them, just to please your abuser. You believe that you can help your partner or your abuser change. If only you change something about yourself. So you are constantly changing how you look, what you wear, how you talk, how you move, people you talk to, or you're just changing everything that, okay, maybe if I change this, it will change. Maybe if I stop talking, maybe if I start talking, maybe if I turn this way, maybe if I turn that way. But none of them pleases them. You delete innocent messages and emails because you think they might get the wrong idea. This is not a healthy relationship. Always, you're always do what your partner wants you to do instead of what you want to do. You stop seeing your friend and family because you want to please him. You don't want him to get angry, or you see them in secret so that he doesn't get upset or flare up. You can't send your family gifts, or you send the gifts in secret because you don't want him to be angry. You are still in the abusive relationship because you are afraid of what your partner would do if you leave or break up. If any of these are happening in your relationship or marriage, please don't suffer in silence. Talk to someone today. You can reach out to me. You can send me an email. Send an email to me on restoredhope21@gmail.com, or join the support group on Facebook called Restored Hope. I am also on Instagram as BCG. That is BISSYG. Without help, the abuse will continue. Making that first call to seek help is a courageous step. I want you to remember, the abuse is not your fault. It is not your fault. Seek help today. Don't suffer in silence. If you suspect someone might be experiencing domestic abuse, please support them by listening and be there for them. You can also reach out to me for help and support for your loved one. Thank you for joining me today. God bless.